panelists and a moderator on the stage for the panel. The topic is the impact of social media on mental health, balancing connection and isolation. Our moderator of the panel is Ms. Pooja Lamba, Principal, Adani GEM School of Excellence, Lucknow SCR. Our panelist Ms. Neha Singh, Director, Academics and Innovations, Lucknow Public Schools and Colleges, Lucknow. Dr. Sonia Singh, Director, the Invictus International School, Ballia. Dr. Nitin Tewari, Assistant Director and Principal, Children Public School, Bindki. Ms. Zonaira Minhaji, Director, La Matina School, Lakhimpur, Kheri. Ms. Gunjan Sahni, Principal, 𝐒𝐤𝐬𝐢𝐵 School, Bansal Campus. And Ms. Mandvi Tripathi, Principal, Lucknow International Public School, Lucknow. I request you all to please join us on the stage.
Good afternoon, namaste, respected panelists, esteemed principals, and my dear fellow educators. We are living in a time where social media is no more optional. It is omnipresent. It wakes us up in the morning, walks inside the classroom through our students, enters the staff room through the WhatsApp groups, and silently sits with us during our family dinner time. On the other hand, social media has also redefined connections. It has also helped students to connect with other students and to learn from across the globe. It has helped the teachers to learn beyond the school walls, and it has also helped the parents to be updated in real time. On the other hand, paradoxically, social media has also deepened loneliness, anxiety, fear, comparison, and emotional distress amongst all the age groups. So, today's panel discussion is basically not about labeling social media's good or bad effects. It is basically to ask the right questions. So with this thought, I begin today's panel discussion, and I would request our esteemed panelists to share their valuable insights on how we can actually move from awareness to action. Our first panelist is Ms. Neha Singh, Director, Academics and Innovations, Lucknow Public Schools and Colleges. She's known for her progressive academic leadership. And my question to her is, how has social media redefined the meaning of connection for today's students? In what ways is this constant digital connectivity impacting the emotional well-being, professional boundaries, and mental health of teachers and the school leaders?
Good afternoon, everyone. As a school leader, this topic is something that should be very closely discussed and practiced. Social media, it is not a blessing for children at the moment. It gives this tendency of instant gratification to children. There is longingness to be heard, to be listened, to be liked, to be justified, and they look for all of this, particularly through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook, and whatever, TikTok, very much in fashion among the children fraternity. One area where our teachers themselves feel burdened, where we as school leaders feel burdened. If I ask this question to you, on your weekends, do you feel that you are absolutely free and you can have that beautiful weekend with your child, with your family only? I believe majority of you will say no. Because deep behind, you have this invisible burden of, again, being present, being virtually present. Somehow our teachers our leaders, everyone is living into this kind of uh, curtain which is right there. And everybody's in this race of proving themselves strong by showing that I'm there. How? Primarily through social media. All of us have to make certain cautious choices. And this practice has to continue. It starts right from beginning, it starts right from the leaders, and it has to move on to our students. How? By digital awareness. More than digital awareness, we have to consider information awareness. And the next set of discussions I would want to talk more about information awareness or information literacy, to be more precise and clear. And practicing the same will definitely bring us some fruitful results. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable insights. I truly agree with ma'am that it is very critical that we need to spend some time with. Digitalization is important. It's need of the hour. But we need to actually sensitize our students, our teachers, and we being elders also. We need to actually understand that how to use digital, digitally awareness is very important. So digitalization is important, but digital awareness is all the more very important. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, ma'am. Moving on to our next panelist, Dr. Sonia Singh, Director, the INVICTUS International School, Ballia. She's a strong advocate of student-centric and value-based education. Your question is, why do we see increased anxiety and low self-esteem among children and adolescents using social media?
Thank you, Ms. Pooja ma'am, and very good afternoon to everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon. I'm really excited to share my insights on the topic, interest increasing anxiety and depression in children and adolescents among children through the social media. Its impact over there. First of all, going to the root cause of this topic, I wish to ask very genuine two questions from all of our audience and companions or educators sitting here. How many of us are coming from the joint family background? May I have your hands raised, please? Love to see a good strength. And how many of us are coming from the nuclear family background? Very few. It can be possible only here because we are mentors and educators. We are working to lead the society, whether it is the students or the parents. The biggest reason behind social media is also a human-made thing. And it is, as we are in a 21st century, it is the part of our life, even especially for our education system. We can't ignore it. But there are some of the root causes which lead the students to the suicidal tendency, anxiety, and depression. As according to the census of 2023, there were 13,982 suicides of the students. We all are worried in our campus. Being a parent, being an educator, what is the reason behind? We all are everywhere where we are searching, especially we the female staff, that we are the mother too. We have a soft corner for the kids. What I found that due to the nuclear family, as in 2000, joint family is still prominent. But nuclear family growing. But now in 2023, its rate has been 50%. This was the what I found that 2-3 points are more important. Beyond to the topic, I would really wish to discuss. It's a golden opportunity for me to keep my insights in front of you on this topic. That nuclear family and without the grandparents and the uncle and aunts, because if the family members are there, they can be look after the kids and they can set the boundaries even. They are scolding, they are just knocking down, then what you are doing at this moment if the parents are not there in the house. Secondly, when we are working, as we can see that the 50% of female staff is present here. If I am not wrong, that the female ratio of working has been also raised. Earlier it was the field of only the male, but now we are shoulder to shoulder to the males and both of the partners or spouse are working together. If we are out, then who is there to look after our kids? Social media is a part. We need to learn how to tackle with it, with our kids and with our students, and to inform even our parents through the workshop. Parents are also a kid or a student for you, for us, mentors, for those who are guiding them in the schools for their kids. As the parents don't know what are the boundaries, they need to set a boundaries when to use the social media platform. By 9, at the last of the night, they should stop. Even they are not using themselves also. They should set a boundary for the home that you have to use this much, and one room should be particularly to charge and keep it all the gadgets over there, and nobody can use after 9. If the children are using, they are facing the cyberbullying. They are going through the harassments, mental health. They are isolated. So many points are there, but one thing, because very less timing is there to bound to speak about it. Being a female, we all should work very hard for this and guide our students in the classroom and guide our parents also, that it's our request that you kindly keep your child in front of you whenever you are reaching to the home. At least give some time to them and ask them what they have performed after schools when they have come to the home, if they were there for 2 hours, what they have did. वो चीज़ें आपके सामने होनी चाहिए. There should be a parental control on the cell phones. We should check it. At least we should get a 2 or 3 minutes time, as we all are under pressure of our works. I can understand very well, because I'm also a new director since 5 years. I was a CBSE principal before that, and I have left my job. I resigned and I started my own school, and currently I'm working with it successfully. But I have gone through it. There is one more checking point in the schools, what I observe, that many of the students, the percentage of the ratio of the autism is increased. Did you feel it, mentors? आपके schools में भी ऐसे autism के cases आते हैं. The child, those who are unable to speak, the child is unable to grasp your any directions. They are anyhow they are suffering from the autism. I have admitted 25 kids in my school suffering from autism, and in 3 years, 8 students has been totally recovered. There is no medicines, no cure, and nothing, no treatment is for autism. Only one thing is there to keep these kids in a normal group. Slowly it can cover and it will work as a medicine, and they can become the normal one. Anybody can be there. कोई भी हो सकता है, आप भी हो सकते हैं, हम भी हो सकते हैं, किसी का भी बच्चा हो सकता है. तो क्यों ना उस बच्चे के लिए हम एक इनिशिएटिव लें, हम खोज करें. I work for it. I study for 3 years continuous. When I found such type of students, when they come for the admissions, कि what happened to this kid, क्या हुआ इसके बारे में. Then I gone through the autism and I studied well. ADHD level तक जाने तक बच्चे को रोकना है. And it can be diagnosed by 1.5 years. 1.5 साल से ही आप diagnose कर सकते हैं आपके बच्चे का you need to give this guidance to your parents. You are also a parent inside a school for 8 hours that kid. It's my last to the female staff कि एक शिक्षित नारी एक सशक्त परिवार का ताकत होती है और वो चाहे तो घर और समाज दोनों को एक बेहतर दिशा निर्देश दे सकती है। गृहिणी एक छोटा सा शब्द है, लेकिन एक छोटा सा कॉमन सा शब्द है, लेकिन पूरे घर को उसका ऋण चुकाना पड़ता है। वो गृहिणी घर से लेकर बाहर तक संभालती है। तो मैं नारियों के लिए खूब चाहूँगी कि आप सभी एक ग्रैंड अप्लॉज दें। ये बाहर से लेके अंदर तक संभाल रहे हैं और बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं। And so I'm lucky that I'm a female. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for your valuable insights. I truly agree with you that it's very critical that screen time should be monitored at home, and we need to be aware that what our children are actually seeing. So one piece of advice I always give, and I truly agree with ma'am, that screen time should be monitored. And apart from this, yes, being part of nuclear families, things are becoming more difficult. When both the parents are working, at times it is difficult for parents to monitor everything. So there in school, basically all the stakeholders, we have to work hand in hand to sensitize children and to make them understand that self-realization and self-monitoring is very important. Because in the current scenario, it is not possible every time for a parent to keep an eye and watch on what the child is doing. So it is equally important for a child to realize the acts that the child are doing, whether they are acceptable or not. So continuous monitoring is important, and at the same point of time, it is equally important for us as leaders of the school and educators to monitor if there are any emotional triggers. Because there are times when the child is not happy at home, but they are very comfortable sharing their thoughts with their fellow students or with the teachers. So we should immediately act on it. We should not linger on, we should immediately take an action on it. Moving forward to our next panelist, Dr. Nitin Tewari, Assistant Director, Children Public School, Bindki, Fatehpur, with extensive experience in school administration and learner development. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Your question is, can social media be beneficial for mental health in any way?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Madam Lamba, all the eminent panelists, all my dear fellow members who are sitting in front of me. Before I answer this question, because question is also a very challenging question, because everybody is talking about the pros and cons of social media, and the question with me is how it is beneficial for mental health. Being as a panelist, first of all, I just want to, ma'am already introduced me, but if you see my background is a computer savvy background. From MCA to educationist is already a different challenge for me, which I took in 2003. And now again the question is also same in front of me. This question I'm ready to face it and give a very strong answer, because from last 1.5 years, my daughter is with me and she gone through some anxiety issues. And then she came to me in Fatehpur. Earlier she was in Kanpur, and I seen the impact of social media on her. So every aspect, because I'm a computer savvy person, doesn't mean that I'm just following social media, right? But yes, along with all the screen time, all the regulation on it, all the negative aspects of social media, what I observed, if in a regular process or in a regular manner, if you use social media, it's a great impact on a child mental status also. What exactly we want? If I'm asking a question like Dr. Sonia asking, my fellow panelist again asked, what exactly we are doing in the school and why we are sitting here? The only thing which I believe by education, which we are going to impart in our student, it's a confidence. We want to impart the global exposure, which we are talking about either NEP or anything. We are talking about the confidence of a child. According to me, if yes, excess use of social media is a problem for a child, but its use, like we are using nowadays Instagram, we are using other platforms. The child is growing day by day in a very positive manner. And the grasping time of the child is increasing, which I believe. Because if you see whatever presentation happened from the morning, everybody is, one side we want to keep away our student from mobile. But all content nowadays, all the thing is, end of the day, we are digital. So that means audio and video has that kind of capacity which can enhance your knowledge in a tremendous manner. So if you're talking about the mental status, yes, I strongly believe in this point. By using social media, yes, in a proper way, the health of the child increase and it reflects the diversity in the child in terms of their working. In the morning session, Dr. Dheeran Narota was here with the concept of AI and ML they are talking about. Again, I am saying, this kind of all platforms which we are using, it is a positive aspect in the education, and the impact of these kind of social media is giving a different kind of exposure to every child, which sometimes is not possible by school or by teacher. Because every teacher, every school, based on certain norms, certain parameters. So we have to just go along with these social medias, which enhance the knowledge, which enhance the global connectivity, which enhance the confidence of the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. My next question is to Ms. Zonaira, Director La Matina School, Lakhimpur, Kheri. She's recognized for her focus on modern pedagogy and emotional well-being. Your question is, what early signs should schools watch for that indicates social media related mental distress?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. So I believe that all of us, the panelists and everybody sitting here, we all believe and we all agree that social media does influence students' emotions, relationships, and identity. But at the same time, the school's responsibility also increases because we cannot ban it. We cannot ban the usage, but we can definitely direct it towards more informed, aware, and mindful digital habits. So when it comes for school, so it should be more awareness. We should teach more awareness rather than prohibition. Now we all know that schools are often one of the first places where social media related mental stress are visible, and these signs are not exactly the signs, these are the patterns which get changed over time. So we must pay close attention and very towards the changes in the students' emotions, changes in their participation level in the classroom, and also their physical well-being. So one of the first changes that we can look for are the level of participation and social presence. So if a child who was once very much engaged, communicative, and responsive in class withdraws himself or herself subtly, so we cannot just ignore it and say that the child has a lack of interest or the lack of motivation or poor attitude. We must see beyond the surface level behavior. We must dive deep into the personality of the child and see if the child is going through some mental stress or cognitive, negative cognitive behaviors. Then, second sign, as we can say, is the consistent lethargy in the school. I have an example of a child of class 5th boy who early in the from the first period only, sleeping in the class. All the time he is not focused in the class, all the time feeling sleepy and tired. And when we spoke to the parents, we got to know that the child was very much active on social media. And the first thing that he does when he gets up is take his phone and start scrolling. The last thing, because of the late usage of the device at night, the sleep pattern has disrupted. The child is not getting the sleep properly, and that is reflected during his day hours in the schools. The child is not focused. So we must look into these patterns. We must look beyond these changes, that why these changes are happening. What is the reason? Then again we can look for this emotional regulation. There will always be emotional regulation, changes in them. Like the child becoming more irritable, that there are frequent mood swings, sudden anxiety during the routine classroom interactions. Like normal feedback, the child will not be able to take it very positively. The child will respond in aggression. So these are not just the poor attitude of the child, or the child is not taking it positively, because the child is so much used to seeking validation on online validation that these things become difficult for them to accept. So these are the changes which the teachers have to be very attentive, very empathetically. They have to understand these changes and they have to work towards it. Their schools are the places where we can definitely see that if these are the signs, we can definitely give them some understanding, the professional support that we can do. We can keep the parents, we must know when to keep the parents in loop, when we have to speak to them, and we have to make them aware that these changes are not just behavioral changes, these changes are cognitive changes which we need to address. So I think that if we all come together and we educate our children and our parents as well about these changes, then we can definitely safeguard the well-being of our children. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights. I would like to add one thing here. It is very important to identify the students who are actually going through emotional distress, but for that we also need to train our teachers. And more than students, it is very important for the parents to be receptive, because there are a lot of times when we approach parents and they are, they bluntly say that, no, my child is not going through any emotional distress. He or she they are just trying to act to gain attention. They don't want to study. So that is one reason they are just trying to find excuses not to study. So it is critically important that we need to train our teachers, because there are times when the teachers are also going through a lot of personal challenges and they are also going through emotional distress. So as leaders, it is very important for us to arrange a lot of sessions where a lot of mental and emotional well-being trainings are actually required for our teachers. We need to understand how they feel when they come to school. It's very important for them to be happy being part of the school system. Then only they can make our learners happy. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, ma'am. Moving on to our next panelist, Ms. Gunjan Sahani, Principal, 𝐶𝐚 Bansal Campus, Lucknow. She's an educator who's truly committed to balanced digital engagement in schools. So my question to you is, should schools restrict social media use or teach responsible usage?
Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for the question. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I would say we need to reframe the question, because the debate here is not about freedom versus restrictions. I think the question to be debated is about capacity. In schools, we do not put our children into science labs without giving them the adequate safety training, without handing them the safety manuals. We don't hand over vehicles to our children without teaching them about the driving rules. And here, we have given unfiltered access to our children to one of the most powerful psychological, social, emotional tool of our times. And then we sit and debate whether to allow or to ban it. My problem is not with social media at all. My problem is with untrained engagement with social media. I think as schools, we need to shift our focus from digital access to digital apprenticeship. We no more need to ask the questions how much social media children should use. No. What we need to ask is, do children understand how the algorithms work on social media? Are they capable enough to differentiate between real and fake content? Are they able to understand that outrage gets more rewarded, more appreciated on social media than truth? Are they allowing social media to influence their own self-image rather than using social media for their purposes? Putting restrictions on usage of social media will create compliance, not wisdom. However, on the other hand, if we give complete unfiltered access to social media to children, it will give exposure, no doubt, but not empowerment. So what we need to do in schools is progressive permission. How we scaffold learning? Probably it's time we start scaffolding social media engagement, which is age-appropriate, content-aware, value-led. Because mind you, the world outside is without restrictions. In schools, you might put in restrictions. Outside world is ruthless. It's addictive. It's absolutely cruel to children. So what is required here is that we ensure we raise digitally intelligent students and not digitally obedient students. Children who understand their emotions, who are emotionally anchored, who understand the ethical ways of navigating the social media. And if we as educators will fail to inculcate this inner discipline, this critical thinking, this ability to navigate critically the entire social media, we as educators will fail. So my stand is absolutely clear that let's raise socially, emotionally intelligent and digitally intelligent children. And this is not control, mind you, this is education. Thank you so much.
I truly agree with you, ma'am, because it is very important. We cannot restrict anything. It's very important as educators, as parents, because parents are the first teachers of the children, right? So it is very important to actually sensitize our students so that they become emotionally, digitally, and socially literate. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, ma'am. Moving on to Ms. Mankvi Tripathi, our next panelist, Principal of Lucknow International Public School, with expertise in nurturing positive learning environments. Your question is, how can schools partner with parents to address this challenge?
Very good afternoon. It's going to be evening, I guess. So everybody had lunch. So hello to everybody. I think you are here with us, I guess, and nobody is feeling sleepy. We all have been talking about social media, and most of you have been making our videos as we have been doing this discussion. Some of you might have been using it, sharing, telling your friends you are present here and what we are speaking of. So this is some part of life that we are not cut off from. It's important, it's very evident in the present scenario. And when we come to parents, because all of us spoke about how to guide students to use it in a proper way. Gunjan spoke so well, like I love the part that she said, it has to be, you have to be intelligent that way. The students have to be, and I personally also believe that bands do not teach self-regulation, how to use something. It is education that will foster the necessary life skills to use social media more, properly. That is what is required to do in schools. Now coming off to the parents. अभी तक हम बच्चे पढ़ा रहे थे. Now the responsibility is again shouldered on us, how to partner with the parents to teach them that yes, this is how this has to happen. But as Madam Lamba said, that yes, parents are the first teachers back at home. Do we create an atmosphere back at home where the children feel heard, where the children feel that yes, even the parents are keeping their phone down and there is a kind and a practice of digital fasting back then. So when we start, I think the first thing is, as schools, we should promote more of written practices, more of written content, where reading again ignites in students, which is a loss nowadays, and we feel that the reading habits are declining, but then how will it happen? What kind of a culture are we promoting at schools to inculcate better reading habits so that you can pull them off? I'm not asking to pull them off absolutely from digital media or social media, because it's part and parcel of life. But as our fellow panelists have been advocating, and they said that we have to teach them the smart ways. But what kind of communication, workshop, basic ethical knowledge of how to use social media more intelligently is what needs not only to be taught to the children but also to their parents. That yes, there should be a culture of digital fasting back at home, at least if you're sitting at the dining table and there is an hour or a day's time where you don't spend that time with your mobile. You don't have to instruct your child, you have to participate in that process. You don't have to tell him to keep your phone down and have your food. You have to practice the same. So you have to start practicing what you have to start practicing exactly what you're preaching. Apart from that, as schools, we should start with some workshops. We should start having open dialogues on challenges that students are facing. Even the parents are facing back at home because of this use of social media, because it is not only, ma'am has spoken about emotional well-being, and you know that a lot of problems arise because of the usage of social media also. The child is being bullied and sometimes he or she is not able to share also. So as parents, do we talk? Is there an open communication back at home? So that also has to be taken care of. So open dialogue, a lot of workshops of course, and a rule of digital fasting. Schools can collaborate and partner by having a close discussion with the parents, and I think all these steps will, and yes, of course, a curriculum that promotes an integration of how to use effectively and intelligently the social media is what my answer is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. One closing remark by everyone. What is one actionable step every school leader can implement immediately for the mental and emotional well-being of all the stakeholders? Starting from you, Matina.
I think communication is the key. The communication stops, everything stops. There has to be a lot of dialogue and interaction. The children should feel heard. The children should feel that attention is, they all want attention.
That is the most important
me,
thing.
you or anybody. So let's give them that attention. Let's talk. And there should be a lot of activities which are based on critical thinking and creativity to give them that, hand where they can just showcase what they have. So that outlet is important, whether through dialogue, whether through activities. So let them, and more of sports, I think, more of sports to keep them engaged. So like ma'am already said, more of sports, so I would also advocate that only, that shifting their activities, shifting their energy to something which is productive, where they are able to express themselves, get real appreciation, so that their self-esteem is boosted. And yes, I think more of sports will definitely make a lot of changes. And also some mindful activities like yoga, where they yoga and meditation, where they get the chance to calm their body and mind. So that will also be very helpful.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I'll request you to repeat the question.
My question is, what is one actionable step every school leader can implement immediately for the mental and emotional well-being of all the stakeholders?
All the stakeholders, all right. I think creating psychological safety nets for all stakeholders is of prime importance, wherein people, and it has to be non-negotiable, open non-negotiable forum, maybe on a weekly or a fortnightly basis, where people feel that they can come and speak without the fear of being judged, without any backlash, where they know that they will be heard, they will get time to reflect upon their own thoughts and ease out. Because most of the stress workplace doesn't come out of the workload, but rather it comes out because of uncertainty, frequent changes in decisions, which has become a part and parcel of everyone's life, that is what results in anxiety. So giving them that time to pause is important. And I think when we do that, we build that psychological safety net, then teachers teach better, children behave better, parents cooperate more, and then leaders can stop firefighting.
I would like to add one thing here. There should be one platform wherein only the senior leadership team should have access to it, so that there are times when there are a lot of personal things that are going on. Maybe some employee is going through a difficult time, or maybe a student is going through a difficult time, and they're not very comfortable speaking it in front of everyone. But when they know that their identity will not be disclosed, but they will get resolution to the problem, and it becomes very easy for us to immediately give solution to that person who's actually going through a lot of emotional distress. So some platform should be there wherein they can go, they can write whatever is coming to their mind, and we as a senior leadership team, we should be able to access, we should only have access to it. So that actually we can connect them with our counselor and give them resolution to whatever they are actually going through. Yes, sir. Moving on to you.
Communication came, mindful sessions came, according to me, promote more ability in comparison of publicity. Second, I believe a lot of paper we have to reduce, in my terms. And third, most important, being as a leader, you should be set by example, as a calmness, as a respect and empathy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. According to my perception, what I thought about it, that we should need to guide. We are working as a leaders, so we are the persons who can guide our parents, students, all the stakeholders those who are there. How to use the social media, its mental well-being and its effect and its excessive use can lead to which problems they should be aware of. There should be some workshop and awareness program should arrange for them and inform them what are the problems they are going to face in the future. They can lose their eyesight, they can have the effect on their mental balance, and of course they are leading to the sleep disruption. So many things are there which we are going to suffer through our health and mental health. Thank you so much.
I believe we become what we consume. When we eat well, we have great body, great health. This phone, this technology is irreplaceable. But as school leader, partnering with all the points that you all have very beautifully curated and mentioned, and which are so true in themselves, educating them right, I again come to the point of information literacy. When children are grown-ups, suggesting them the best of podcasts, suggesting them with the best of social media, which will really help them go a level up. And of course, when it's literacy, it's about guiding them right, in what portion, how much, with the help of parents, of course, and positive reinforcement over and over again. So yes, clubbing up together, I think this will solve the purpose, but again it comes to school principals and leaders, but alone it is not a possibility. It's only possible partnering with parents. Thank you so much, Counselor.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As we conclude to today's enriching session, I would just like to say that we are actually rearing digitally fluent and emotionally fragile children, right? So the reason why children are so emotionally fragile is because actually we don't have time for them. They don't feel heard. There are a lot of times as parents we are actually overoccupied. Yes, as I started my conversation, that there are a lot of times when slowly and steadily we feel that we keep checking our children, but when it comes to us, even during meal times, the phones are always in use. So we need to set some right examples for our children, and parents as the first teacher. So we need to ensure that minimum mobile usage should be there at home. And digital literacy, emotional literacy, and social literacy are actually very, very important, not only for students, but for us as adults also. So then only we will be able to actually create digitally fluent and emotionally stable children. I rest my dialogue here and thank you so much to all the panelists for their valuable insights. I think we've really exchanged a lot of good ideas today, and we are going to make a lot of good efforts in sensitizing and rearing the next generation. Thank you so much.